Okay, everybody, and so the FTC has been denied its appeal on the Microsoft Activision deal, and here's what could happen. If Microsoft were so evil, they could just turn around and tell the CMA, okay, you want to block our deal, then we will not allow our products to be sold in the UK. They're only worth $4 billion to Microsoft. That sounds like a lot of money, but they're going to make a lot more money from the Activision Blizzard deal than $4 billion, okay? And on top of that, they could pull Windows, right? Saying, we're not going to update your Windows 10 and 11 in the UK anymore, okay? And they could stop doing updates on various Xboxes that are already sold there, and etc., right? And just pull all the other product back, and it's going to be a little bit of a meh, but you know what, then they can get this shit on the road, and then by Christmas time you can have some Activision Blizzard in the store versus the FTC trying to ruin everybody's goddamn holidays. Like, the whole reason they stopped this deal was because Microsoft, they said, was a monopoly in the cloud market. No, it was all about how in Europe, okay, Microsoft has some cloud servers, and some of the European Union made a big deal out of that. So Microsoft went to the European Union and made some deals with other small little cloud providers to provide them with some business, so that the European Union would feel like it's more of a big family rather than one guy running that show. Had nothing to do with cloud gaming. That's how retarded, stupid, okay, the UK government is. It's no wonder the UK economy is going tits up. They're run by a bunch of clowns. And I'm going to add, okay, I see these comments from British people how the world, everybody's going into recession. No, we're not. We're not all going into recession. The rest of the economy of the West is perfectly fine. It's governments that are run by conservatives that are all having the problems, okay? All right? Or that have to deal with conservatives to get these governments running that might not have enough support for a majority government or some such. Anyway, Canada's doing fine. Inflation's down around 3%. Our growth is going to be 3.5%. South of the border, the Democrats are doing fine too. Unemployment's, way down there. I mean, it's you know what the most stupid comment I heard all day today? The guy shows this Star Wars animated thing of Boba Fett or something. And then he turns around and says, straight people can't make any good entertainment. I'm like, that's the exact same kind of thing, but the opposite of what the other side said. So, and so I wanted to also say this to you guys out there. When you see stuff like that, jump in and say, you're as bad as a Republican, okay? A homophobe would say the opposite of that. So what I'll call them is a straightophobe, okay? You want to make up words, I'm making up a new one, all right? Like, it's insulting, okay? It's insulting on many levels, okay? It would be insulting for anyone you knew that was gay, that has to go through with bullshit that the other side has to go through, and then to have this clown say the same kind of thing. I should show that tweet, but YouTube has rules about that. You don't want to pile on the guy and say, you're... Anyway. So, one of the reasons why you haven't seen much on my channel here is my roommate seems to think that, while he's going to school, he can stay up until 4 or 5 in the morning, running around in the apartment, even though he says he's trying to be quiet, it's waking me up all the time. So if he's going to keep this up, he's going to have to leave. Okay? I had 300 people apply to live here in a 10-day period. Okay? So it's not a question of me finding roommates. And if you're listening to this next door to my room, you better fucking smarten up. Because me, when I don't get sleep, gets real bitchy. I think most of us do, right? stop getting sleep. You don't feel good. And, you know, I got a bad back to begin with. So, you know, I need to rest. Not to be a bitch, not to be a whiny little fucker, you know. I put up with it for a whole week before I snapped. And, you know, I'm paying all the internet here, so when he comes to me like, oh, is there something wrong with the internet? I says, yeah. What, you know what? I think until I get 8 hours of good sleep, nobody else gets any free internet. That's the way it's going to work. I don't know, you know, how you go to school, right? And then come home and then stay up until fucking, like, what the fuck? You have like 2 hours of sleep a day? What kind of drugs are you on? Whoa. I don't fucking want to hear it, you know? I'm too old for this shit. Anyway, have a good one, everybody.